All right, guys. So here what I'm doing is some shoulder mobility and I'm warming up my shoulders before I hit my chest. I've been having a lot of shoulder tightness of late, so I thought it would be really good to do these little warm-up drills. The principle behind doing this, the reasons why I'm doing this is that I want to pump a lot of blood to the shoulder muscles that I'm working out here. I would also like to lubricate my joints. Yes, pun intended, I guess, or pun unintended, actually. Um, they might look a little funny, but they've actually worked for me. And my whole philosophy when it comes to training is to see to it that uh, do what works for you. Personalization is the best. I'm doing some neck warm up here again because I've been having a lot of neck tightness. Um, I've also been going to the physiotherapist, and the physio has been removing the tightness from my body. And I think that's kind of like an occupational hazard when you have um, when you're in the fitness business, you have to train, you have to do your own training, and at the same time you have to take care of clients. So that's kind of important that you do those things. So here I'm just doing a feeler set for a close grip Smith machine bench press. I'm just trying to get used to the movement here, and I really feel that a lot of people just jump into the workout without really feeling the weight, feeling how they are actually moving, how their joints are moving and feeling in that particular day. So this is just a feeler set, and I like to get to know how things are going and how I'm feeling as I keep working out. This is my second feeler set. Again, I've gone up a little bit in weight, but it's still not my working weight, and I'm not going to count this towards my actual set. The other thing that I wanted to actually talk about is that a lot of hardcore lifters think that the Smith machine is something that is a little too low for their level. I respectfully disagree. I think the Smith machine is a wonderful, wonderful device that you can actually leverage for building some really, really badass muscle. And I think that you should just let go of certain preconceived notions. And if you could do that, we'd really progress in the gym. This is the actual weight that I'll be lifting. But again, this is not something that I'm going to consider towards my set because the actual weight that I'm going to lift as well, I'll be taking just about maybe I think I got about 4 reps if my memory serves me correctly from this. I think I got, let's see, how many reps did I get? Let me know how many reps did I get. Again, this is again, I do this because it just helps me with regards to the tightness in my muscle. I've been coming off and working out after quite some time. This is my actual set that I'm going to go for. I think I got 9 reps in this set. It's important to at least be mindful about how many reps you're getting, what's the weight that you're actually working out at. So this was, I think, about 65 or 70 kgs on the Smith. That's probably a little lesser than what the actual weight is. You can probably go down because the Smith machine has a lot of stability in it. While if I was doing just a normal bench, I wouldn't have that level of stability, right? And I think again from understanding things from principles, if you just want to if you just want to lift to build muscle, stability in a workout is something that you should look for because then you can take away all the stabilizing muscles that you need and just concentrate on the actual muscles that you want to build for. This was my second set. I think I didn't get 9 reps, and again I wasn't going to failure. I wasn't training very heavy here. I just wanted to not feel, I did my feeler sets is fine, but I just wanted to kind of just see where I stand after almost a week of not training or maybe 10 days of not training. I think it's good to kind of do these kinds of workouts, especially after you've come off from a bit of a break, from a hiatus. You just want to know how much you can push. You don't want to go all the way to failure because and train too hard. But that doesn't mean that, again, this might look like it's very hard training or whatever, but when you really train and know what hard training is like, even your normal training sounds, I don't know what I said there. Training, well, it sounds like a lot of grunting. That's one way of putting it. But it's essentially, I would say, once you get used to training hard, even if you're trying to tone down a little bit, from somebody else may think, oh, this guy's actually training really hard, but that's not hard training from my perspective, right? Because once you get used to training really hard, you know what hard training is. If you tone it down, you still are going to be training pretty effectively, right? And effort is something that is very important for training. It's something that will make you and give you all the results. Anyways, so what I did here is a feeler set again for my incline dumbbell chest press. And yeah, that's a bit of a view that I think was a little contentious, but let's just leave it at that. Let me ignore it. This is the actual set that I did. I think I got about 9 reps. This was 28 kgs. And you have some uncles in the background talking about, I guess, life. I think they were actually, he was talking about a skull crusher. He was telling the uncle about a skull crusher and about triceps. It was nice. Anyways, 28 kgs for about 9 reps. I did not hit failure. I think I could have gotten one more. Yeah, I could have gotten one more rep, but I, stopped myself from getting another rep there. Anyways, going on to the next set. This is the second set, I guess, for my incline dumbbell press. Now, I don't recommend doing this. It's not because what actually happened is I went down in weight. What I did was I went down in weight from 28 kgs to 26 kgs because I was coming back after some time. That's the only reason why I went down in weight. Otherwise, I would have actually I 32, 34 is better. That's the kind of weight that I essentially move for my chest. Nothing much, but anyways, coming to the 26 kgs thing, I tried to increase the momentum, tried to essentially do more of an explosive movement. I'm trying for an explosive movement, but it seems to be it's looking grindy, and it's looking grindy because I'm not able to push it that hard. Probably because of the fatigue that set into my muscles from my previous workout. But the idea is to be as explosive, at least in the concentric as possible. Now what you're seeing here is a tricep, cable tricep extension. Is it a treble tricep push down? I think it's a cable tricep push down. Now, this is not how you're again supposed to do a workout. This is just me feeling it because I've been having I'm just warming up my elbows for this. So I went for like, I don't know, I think I went for about 20 reps. As you can see, the weight is very, very light because I am preparing for what is going to come next after this. And that's a over the head cable tricep extension. So over the head work is pretty, I would say, hard on your triceps as well as on your elbows, especially on your joints. So what I'm doing here is doing a very lightweight, a lot of movement, then going up in weight, and then just seeing and feeling where I would say, feel lubricated enough in my joints so that I can actually hit the really heavy, I would say, tricep extension. So this is the tricep extension, over the head tricep extension that I was talking about. It's set to uh, well, the torso level, set to somewhere at the hip level, essentially, somewhere where the hip and the lower body and the upper body meet. That's kind of where I like to set it up. And this gives you a lot of stretch, and it targets the long head of the tricep, which is the biggest part of your tricep. In fact, it really looks big, and it gives you that, I would say, it actually fills up your sleeves as well. So if you're looking to fill up your sleeves and see to it that you're low, yeah, that you want that, like jacked look when you're wearing something. Like you're wearing something in the sense you're wearing a t-shirt or a shirt or whatever, you should do this exercise. um, I think I went into a drop set here and I've been going again. All of this is, well, something which I do only when I come back from a hiatus, but generally I do a push-pull leg split, and uh, I try to essentially structure my programs. It's not too structured, but at the same time, it's not completely throwing. All right. So here what I'm doing is seated leg curl. Now you might be thinking, oh, a seated leg curl after chest and tricep. What kind of a split routine is this? Well, it's not really a super structured routine that I was doing. I had done some kind of a pull day yesterday. The day just before I had done this workout, it was some sort of a pull day where I had done biceps and back along with quadriceps. So I thought I would do triceps and chest along with hamstring curls. So that's what I'm doing here. These are seated leg curls. There have been some of the most important and the most important, in fact, raging debate in the history of humanity, sarcasm, yes, of course, has been whether it's seated leg curls or lying leg curls, which of the two are better. There are studies which show that seated leg curls are better compared to lying leg curls from a hypertrophic perspective, in the sense that they actually help you build more muscle. But having said that, I've always felt that if you want to think about science, essentially if you take exercise science into consideration, they're going to get a few people. They are going to make them do a certain kind of exercise, and they're going to be like, oh, like they're going to probably split the group and say these people are going to do lying leg curls, and the other half is going to do seated leg curls, and the seated leg curls build more muscle, right? But I think if you're doing an experiment when it comes to say something like in physics or chemistry, well, a chemical substance is a chemical substance and a proton is a proton, right? But a human body varies wildly from person to person. So how can you actually say that, well, a lying leg curl is not as good as a seated leg curl, or a seated leg curl is not as good as a lying leg curl? Maybe there might be another study out there that might give you the opposite, right? How can you essentially say that? And uh, because, well, there are a lot of differences in human beings to begin with, right? It might be that somebody has better genetics and responds better to one particular set of curls, and that is why it grew. And these sample sizes are also really small, they're like 10 or 15. So I'm not trying to diss science here. I'm just saying that the messiness of biology is so much the that personalization is really important. And whatever you're doing, lying leg curls or seated leg curls, I think, or any exercise for that matter, whether it be for your biceps, again, whether you have to do cable based bicep exercises, or do you just want to do barbells, or do you want to do dumbbells, all of that I think is, again, comes back to personalization and seeing what really works for you, and effort, right? So you have to go somewhere close to failure, but you will know again what actually is failure or what actually is going close to failure if you really hit failure, right?